What up, peeps? It's your girl, Dosh. Come back to Frontal Takes. Well, it's that time, you guys. It's movie news time, and it has been a minute since I had posted one of these. It's been like a good month or so. Normally I used to do them all the time, but it was just a lot's going on. I have two jobs, so it's kind of like a little bit busy. So I decided from time to time I will post one, and I might try to post one maybe once a month or once every other month. Definitely, there's some things popping up in film land that I really want to discuss. Then I will definitely do that. So with that said, let's go ahead and just jump into it. So the first thing I want to discuss is about a movie that I'm excited about. This is not a reboot, not a continuation, but more of a origin story is going to be told pretty much being a prequel, and this has to do with the movie Orphan First Kill. Now I'm excited because if you have never seen the first one, it came out, I want to say 2009, and it starred, I want to say, Isabel Furman as the young girl. We had also Vera Farmiga, one of my faves, and Peter Sarsgaard. Of course, centers around the family. They lost a child, and then they decide to adopt. They end up adopting her from an orphanage. She's supposed to be 9 years old, but then during a series of events start happening, culminating around her, of course, now coming home with her and all that, within the family, things kind of turn awry. The movie was very suspenseful, definitely a thriller, aspect to it. I liked the way Furman played the character because it was so much about you had no idea and you're thinking, and the way she looks. She did not look really honestly like she was nine, and that was one of the twists to the film. Eventually that was kind of like floodgates open towards the end of the film when the reveal happens about how old she really is, and her what she's kind of really up to when she's trying to seduce Sarsgaard's character. I was just like, oh my god, this is like beyond creepy. But she was good, and I like how she went toe to toe with Vera's character in the film, trying to get to their youngest daughter who was deaf. Just very suspenseful, and I enjoyed it. And I just thought it was a standalone film because I didn't think they would ever do another one, the way you see how it ended, Now, with this particular one coming out and me hearing, that this was in the works, I was really excited about this one. I do know another person who will be attached to this film besides Isabel Furman is Julia Stiles. And I want to kind of just go into it with her because she does recently speak on this in regards because this is being actually been worked on since last year when they started working on the script. Well, let me read a little bit of what she says. She did actually an interview for a Collide. She says, I do not wish, she doesn't like to watch horror movies. And when I was sent the script for what was like, I don't know, I'm not into this particular genre. And I was also really worried about going back to work, after COVID. And the script was so damn good, I couldn't put it down. I was so surprised by the twist that I'm not going to give away that I think you'll like it. She also says it's incredibly psychological. It's not really interested in blood and gore. She's not really interested in blood and gore, excuse me. I find it gross, but I don't find it really scary. What I find scary is the stuff that happens up here. And Isabel Furman's character, Esther, although she was multiple names, Lena, I don't know. It's just such a fascinating, and especially now because she's a grown up. She's 23 now, playing the same parts. It's just such a fascinating psychopathic character along the lines of why Norman Bates was so interesting to watch. And I just like that. And I said, and that's the key as well, because when I heard that they were in the midst of working on this, I kept thinking, how are they going to do this, being that of course it is going to be an origin story and they're going back, we're getting like a prequel. And I'm just like, okay, she is much older now. It's going to be really interesting to see her playing this role now that she's a little bit older, how they, maybe the makeup and all, they could be maybe a little de-aging, but whichever, we'll have to see. But I really look forward to her putting her stamp on it because, like I said, she was very convincing, very conniving, very, sneaky and whatever, at every chance she could get. The kids not liking her on the playground, her hurting one of the kids, whatever, and all that, and just, oh my goodness, she's ferocious. So she definitely played that character really well. So I'm really looking forward to her really reprising that role and seeing what she's going to give us in this one, to see what type of havoc she caused prior to us getting to see her when she did the character in 2009's first film. But I'm excited for this. I look forward to seeing this. I don't have anything stating when they're calling for this to actually come out. I want to think maybe not this year, might be next year, since they're kind of just starting on working production. So hopefully this could be something that comes out in 2022. I'm going to keep tabs on this truly because I really want to see how this all pans out. And knowing that Julia Salazar, I'm a fan of some of her work as well. So that's nice. And I'd like to know in what instance she will be. Is she going to be infiltrating their family, things of that nature during whatever era they're doing this from, to showcase whatever in regards to that. Even though she's older, whatever, we still don't know really, even though she says her age, how she can look the way she looks. What is she doing to look her age at the way she was back in the 2009 one, being that she's supposed to be 33 when you look at her. So it's like certain things she's doing to make her look herself look a certain way. So that plays a part too, and we didn't get to see so much of that. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what they're going to showcase in that prequel. So with that said, so moving on from that. Now this one, I'm already ready because I already know the sequel's coming out, and this has to do with Don't Breathe 2. Now I know I'm already hyped for this. I enjoyed the first one that came out, and it starred, of course, Stephen Lang and Jane Levy. Of course, a group of robbers coming into a house thinking they're going to get, hit pay dirt, unbeknownst to them thinking they're dealing with a blind homeowner, but realizing he's not so innocent as they really like to think he is. And clearly, with the character of Jane Levy, she really gets, a full insight to him and things of trying to get away. If you remember the film, it was definitely something different, fresh. And the fact that when we were watching it, even with the trailer, it was just like them constantly having to be quiet, not breathe anything to this man because his other sentences are heightened, being that he is blind. And the way he had to set up the traps, whatever, in his home, whatever, he knows his home. So them having to be quick on their feet to get away from him and up, be one up against him. And it's kind of hard to do that when you're under somebody else's home and they know every aspect of it, and knowing, the things he was doing in there with the girl, making her, impregnating her because she accidentally hit his child, and he wanted a child to replace it. It's just, oh my God. And then of course the turkey baster scene. Ugh. So with this one, I'm excited to hear that this one will be rated R, because I remember they were sure about that one scene, which was rather graphic, and it wasn't really verified, I think, when it first came out, whatever, in regards to the rating. So with this one, they don't put it out, because I know they stated in this one, definitely some more violence and definitely strong, bloody violence. Here for that. Now, I will say this. They do say just a little bit. They don't get too much away about the overall story, but they do state in this one, the blind man will be out of his element as he leaves his safe haven to save an orphan girl that he had been raising in his isolated cabin. So I'm curious. Yeah, because if you remember the ending, he's in some whatever and all that. She, pushes him, knock him down, whatever and all. When he tries to drag her back down and whatever and all, she gets out, gets the money, whatever, and she ends up trying to leave, of course, with her sister, and she sees on the news that he is alive. She's thinking she killed him, whatever. She can't go to the authorities because if she goes to the authorities, she either admit was her part that she played, and the other two who got killed in the midst of them trying to rob him. So all of us, well, I can't only speak for myself, but I know a lot of people who I remember who'd watch this, they were just making a thought of if they did a sequel, whatever, would she come back, whatever, and all that, and try to finish the job, whatever. I don't think she wanted no part of him, so I doubt seriously, and I really don't think Jane Levy's going to be in this thing. So I think we're definitely getting a whole new storyline set, whatever he's doing, him of course venturing out. He's probably like, okay, I'm not going to be, out here in a residential area now. I'm out here in his cabin, whatever, getting used to the area, whatever. Like I said, he has that military background. He knows how to take care of himself pretty much. So it's going to be interesting to see how this story progresses, how he ends up with some girl in some isolated cabin. I'm like, okay. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this film. Stephen Lang was so freaking creepy in this film. So I can only imagine how much it will be. It's just as creepy. And I know I did remember seeing a post from, Fede Alvarez showing a picture of him, from the original, whatever. And he was just like, he cussed, F yeah, like he ready for Don't Breathe too. So I am too, because the first one he did was really good, coming off of him doing, the remake to Evil Dead. So I was just bummed he didn't do this one, but that's okay. I feel like it, whoever saw the first one has an instinct of, where to go with this one. And if they just keep it true, then it should be just as good as the first one. So I'm just looking forward to this one. This one comes out because they wrapped it up back in October 2020, and it's stating for August 13th this year. So we don't have much longer to wait. I'm here for it. I'm hyped. Let's get it going. So this one, moving on, I'm really excited to see how this is going to turn out. And this has to do with DC's Batgirl. Now, I had known they've been working on this for a long time. And I'm just like, okay, this is well long overdue. I know a couple people were attached to this. I know Whedon was one of them. He's no longer attached. I'm curious to see because it's just, I don't know what they're doing with this particular character, but it's like, okay, we're getting Batman. We, of course, we get the other parts of the DC universe. So it's just kind of good. I do know that this will be through HBO Max. It's going to be one of their other original films. I know we already have, you know, the nice hit that came out, of course, with Wonder Woman 1984, and of course, Zack Snyder's just lead, you know, the Snyder Cut. Did very well, but this will be more of a considered maybe more of an original. I know HBO Max is trying to do a little bit more original stuff as it was bringing stuff in that, you know, everybody's kind of used to, especially like I said with, you know, the Steiner stuff. So it's going to be really interesting. I'm curious to see if they're going to go in regards to the actual character being the daughter of the commissioner, Jim Gordon. I wonder. That's interesting, you know, how they're going to play this. I said we don't have too much details, and I didn't see too much about that part. I'm curious, is it going to be a part of the DC universe? Are they going to do it that way? Or is it going to be a part of, you know, what is this? DCU's, you know, Earth 2. I know that's the way they're doing it with Matt Reeves' what is it, a Batman film. So just a lot more information. You know, I'm really looking forward to them, you know, actually putting out here. Now that we know that this is in the works and it's going to be through HBO Max, I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to direct this, and I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be starring in this. So when I get more information, as I say, when I know more, you all will know more. So I just want to put that out there because I really want to see this. So all right, y'all, make it happen. Make it happen. Now, speaking of DC, since I'm already in that little instance, I want to talk about Aquaman, Aquaman 2 to be exact. I'm excited and hyped because now we know that they will be starting on production this summer. I think they said July. I'm excited because we're going to get some of our original cast. I think they said William Dafoe will probably be back as Volko. I also heard, of course, Amanda Heard will be back as, what is it, Mira. And we know that Yahya Abdul Mateen will be back as Black Manta. And I'm really looking forward to him being back because if you all remember the end scene with that, it is unfinished business. So I'm totally here for that. Didn't hear anything so far about Patrick Wilson coming back. That might, I think he still is coming back. They're probably just in negotiations probably with that. So I'm really hoping. Also with Nicole Kidman, I know she's working on something she's working on in regards to biopic with the I Love Lucy. Still don't know how I feel about that, but okay. That's another story in itself. But yes, I'm really looking forward to that. I will discuss that. I know that Jason Momoa said he's been writing, kind of putting his, you know, thoughts on how, you know, the story should go for the second installment of Aquaman. And I'm going to read what he stated. He says, after we ended the first one, I went in with my writing partner and we dreamed up the second one, and we went in and pitched the idea. The best thing I can give you is that I love it so much that I participated in the writing of it. And so we did the first treatment, and then James and our original writer, David, finished it off, and all our hearts are in it. Instead of it just like getting a script and doing that, you're 100% being encouraged by your director and co-writers. So that's exciting for me, and I'm excited to go over there. He says, I leave in July and we start filming. So I'm actually happy for him because I know Jason's all about definitely, you know, getting a role, putting the work out there, and doing the best work he can do. And I think I'm looking forward to seeing him dabble in that area, since if he wrote that, whatever, and all that could open up other things for him to write whatever, and start, you know, the process of getting things, produced, and, maybe production, things of that nature, because a lot of actors, they eventually, work that aspect where, you're in front of the camera, and eventually want to do some writing and then get behind the camera. So, it is the beginning stages of something that can definitely be, a possibility and some, future work, and I'm excited for him for that. And I like that James definitely, they were opened, welcomed it with open arms, whatever, and they, put their little stamp on it and added to it. So that's actually awesome, because the first one was literally damn near perfection, because it was really freaking good, and he did it justice. Everything about it, the amount of action, everything was good, and that was the role for him for that one. He's perfect to be a part of, a comic book. That was the role that was meant for him to play for that. So I'm actually excited. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward, like I said, I'm not even lying, I really want to see more of him with Black Manta, because their scenes were really good, and I really want to see them go at it, and just, because we see what happened. You remember what happened to his, his parent, his father. So I know that vendetta's in there, whatever, and all that can make you do some things. So I'm curious to see exactly what else is going to happen. I think Randall Park, if I'm not mistaken, was in that end credit too. So I don't know, he might be coming back as well. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to seeing what other information you're going to put out. Like I said, if some other original characters show up, that'll be interesting too. I will say this: I'm still bummed that James Wan will be doing the movie, because I remember one of the scenes I really enjoyed was when they were trying to get go through what they were doing, him and Mira's character and all, and ended up in that trench. And I knew he was going to do a movie. It was going to be called The Trench, and it just kind of fell through. Whatever. I was kind of bummed because those creatures look just so beyond fascinating to me. But I just had to put that out there because I really enjoy seeing those creatures. They were just something totally unique and different. And just to get a backstory on that would have been really nice, but you never know. Right now, they might make doing it and something that come out down the road, then that would be great. So fingers crossed with the possibility of that. But yes, I would definitely keep tabs if anything else happens with that one. So with that, moving on. This one I'm really excited about because it definitely is going to go into the horror genre aspect of it, and it has a particular director who's going to be attached to this. And this was dealing with a movie titled Bitterroot, and it will be directed by Regina King. I'm a fan of Regina King. I've been watching her since truly her 227 days. We are close in age. I just had a birthday. So I have been following her work forever. She's been in many films I mean, Poetic Justice, uh, what is it? I'm trying to get my throat. Excuse me. She did Watchmen. Everybody loved her. She did If Bill Street Could Talk. Boys in the Hood. I mean, just to name a few. Her body work is long because she's definitely done a lot of TV. Definitely the movies. TV is where it all began, and I love when she does do TV. But this one definitely will be a feature film. Let me know this one with that one. And this has to do with a comic book series, which is adaptation from Bitterroot. Now, let me kind of read off a little bit of the story. It says the story is set during the vibrant Harlem Renaissance of 1924, when a fractured family of once great monster hunters faces an unimaginable evil that descends upon New York City. For generations, the Sangareas have hunted, I hope I said the name correctly, and cured those infected by a supernatural force that feeds off the prejudice of the era. I like that. Transforming human beings into hideous monsters, with most of the family dead and the surviving family at odds, between saving, or killing the creatures. They must overcome the wounds of the past in hopes of thwarting an invasion. This sounds so just amazing. Just I'm really beyond intrigued. So I love that they gave a thorough one, and I'm truly, truly here for this one. I really, really am going to be looking forward to seeing this. I'm glad she will be directing this. I'm really looking forward to seeing if I wonder if this is going to be a movie, if this is going to be an actual series. And I'm thinking this is going to be more of a series because I don't know if they're going to be able to put all this culminated into an actual film. So I could have been off thinking this is actually a film, but this might be an actual series she might be working on where it can be a certain amount of episodes. That would be nice. So I will keep tabs on this one. Like I said, she's at the helm to definitely direct. Also, I'm looking forward to seeing who she will be casting in this. Of course, her getting behind the camera now, I'm loving it. Of course, she did One Night in Miami. I had to throw that out because that was her directorial debut. I'm just hyped about that. Uh, I'm really, really am excited for all the things that Regina King works on. Honestly, when she's working on anything or she's anything, I always watch it. So anything she has coming moving forward with this included, I will definitely be watching. So that's pretty much it on this one. So yes, when I have a little bit more, you all will know more on that one. This is another one that's from a horror author called R.L. Stine. I'm excited for this one because this is titled Fear Street. This one is going to be culminating around, and this will be through Netflix. Don't know too much about it because I did not read those. Probably my error in judgment on that part, whatever, but let's move past that. I plan to see this one because it's going to span um, it's going to be considered a film trilogy through Netflix. They're going to be showing a three-parter, for 3 weeks consecutive for this particular trilogy, and I'm excited about that. It's going to be 1 year. That's I think 1666. 1 year is going to be I think 1978, and then the last one's going to be 1994. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this is about. Now I did check out the little bit of I think it had like a minute, little trailer for this one, and in the trailer I just wanted to note because it was just like talking about we're all cursed, the witch is real, whatever. And I remember seeing a face, and one of the faces I did see was going to be starring is Maya Hawke. Parents being Ethan Hawke. I'm really looking forward to this, and I know the rest of the cast on this. Let me just know some names I did write down. Being Maya Hawke's one of them. We have what looks like to be a Sadie Sink. We have Jillian Jacobs, Olivia Welch, Kiana Madera, Benjamin Flores Jr. We have an Ashley Zuckerman and a Jordana Spiro. I'm familiar with Jordana Spiro. So yes, I'm excited for this one. Like I said, I'm not familiar with the actual books, but this right here with being in Fear Street. I love my horror. I'm excited. The dates for this, let me know because I did say it's going to be spending over a consecutive 3 week period. The first part one will be July the 2nd. Part two is July the 9th, and then part three is July the 16th. And I will be watching every last one of them. Now we know Netflix is known for always doing a binge with the stuff that they normally show, but this one is a little bit different, and there's nothing wrong with that because that's actually good too. Because I know a lot of people normally with some shows, like I know with DC Plus, they'll do it where they'll show like one of the shows that I was watching with Falcon and Winter Soldier. They'll do one episode and you have to wait a full week, and some people just be losing their minds. And it's like, okay, why are you losing your mind? No more shows that come on regular other channels do it like that, whatever. So this is not too far fetched for you to feel like, oh my god, no. People have gotten catered to with this binge stuff. So all of a sudden, when you get used to something, they don't want you to take it away from them. So you get the crying. So I'm just like, I'm not going to lose. I got so much stuff on TV. We can watch whatever. I can wait a week. So it's not going to, and everything's not going to come to an end. So yes, I'm really looking forward to it. And I like that, to see they're going to be all three consecutively, a week apart. So yeah, I'm really looking forward. July is going to be the place to be. And like I state all the time, I love the stuff Netflix is putting out. Every time I turn around, something new. So, I know they just started off with, of course, Army of the Dead coming out, whatever, now with that horror. And now we're going to have this come out in July, and some other things they have in store that are coming out very soon as well. So the summer is going to have a lot going on. And again, as I say with them, I'm always here for it. So that one, definitely looking forward to. So with that said, moving on. Now this one, definitely looking forward to it. And this has to do with Attack the Block 2. Now, I remember the first one that came out, and this was back in 2011. Back then, I didn't know who he was. And of course, I'm talking about John Boyega. And he was in this one, of course, him and his group of friends, trying to protect their block when he started dealing with some alien invasion. Really a good film. It was directed by Joe Cornish. I was beyond here for that. And I was just like, the way he was, and I would say this, his overall demeanor, where he was, because he was always so serious in this, and his friends and buddies, cracking little jokes, whatever. Then I know Jodie Whittaker was in this, Nick Frost was in it, I recognized him, and then who else was in this? What's his name? Luke Treadway was in this. And back then I didn't know who he was, but he did the show Penny Dreadful, and that's why I can remember him, seeing him a little bit more from that movie, from that particular film. But I'm excited for the fact that they're coming together. So I want to know what they said, because they recently both spoke on this, whichever. Now for Boyega, he said, it's been a decade since Attack the Block was released, and so much has changed since then. I'm excited to see this heightened story return to the streets of London. He says, Moses has remained one of my favorite characters to play, and bringing him back is a huge honor. Yes, and that was one of his first roles. So yeah, he's done quite a bit of film. Of course, he did his Star Wars trilogy. He worked on film series called Small Axe, and he did one that was called, was it Wait, Red, White, and Blue, that I didn't get a chance to watch, but I'm going to definitely check that out. Now, for Joe Cornish, he noted, I'm thrilled we're officially announcing our return to the world of Attack the Block. On the 10th anniversary of the film's release, I can't wait to work alongside John again, bringing audiences an even bigger slice of inner city alien action. Looking forward to that, because it's going to be really interesting to see when he comes back, and of course playing Moses. Looking forward to seeing if any of these characters will come back. I'm not sure if Jodie Whittaker, but maybe some of the his friends might reprise their roles and come back. That would be awesome, because that'll make it even more bittersweet. If not all of them, a few of them, definitely some of the little young ones that were scene stealers in the film. The fight sequences with them, with the bats, whatever they could get, riding on the bikes trying to get away from them. Those things were ugly. Definitely like fur balls with big mouths. They were just so ugly looking. But yes, definitely entertaining. A little bit of everything with action, the horror, the comedy aspect. It was a nice little genres all combined. So it made it a really good, film. It probably didn't do really well at the time, whatever and all that. But let's just say that a lot of people liked it, or kind of came more into knowing about the film once Boyega became well known when he did Star Wars, I think. I'd already watched it well before, that. So, and I did enjoyed. I think I want to say, did it come on? I think I watched it, and then I eventually saw it again when it came, I think, on Sci-Fi back in the day. So yeah, really, really a good film. So I want to see where they're going to take the storyline to. He's still in London. He comes back to visit, and they just happen, the aliens show up again in that neighborhood. Like, why is it like they keep coming back to that neighborhood, or they end up showing somewhere, closer out, of London, somewhere else. That'll be interesting. So again, I'll keep tabs on this one. I want to see exactly who will be cast, if some of the original cast will come back. Also, when we can look for of when this is going to come out. If they're talking about it now, I'm hoping maybe a 2020 2022 release will be actually what we can kind of look for. You never know, can get pushback, but now that John's on it, I don't know what he's working on at the moment. So we'll see if he's freed up. That means they might be trying to get the ball rolling sometime late summer, fall, and that'd be good because that means we will get it next year. So again, like I said, when I know more, you guys will know more. Now the last one. This one is a all-time favorite because it's considered a cult classic, and I love me some of this film. And this has to do with a reboot that's in the works. You all know how I feel, and this has to do with Highlander. Now, was not sure how I was going to feel about it, but I will say the person who's going to be coming on board has me excited about this, and has to do with Henry Cavill being, in talks to be a part of it. Now, for me, I love me some Highlander. I'm a fan of Christopher Lambert. I love a lot of his work, but Highlander is one of those franchises that he did that I just really, truly enjoy. Matter of fact, maybe it was less than 2 months ago, I watched the first Highlander because I liked him and also Sean Connery being in it and Clancy Brown. Let's just talk about him too because he played crazy real good when he was coming for McLeod. When they would get together to fight whatever they call it, what the gathering, whatever, and they fight to the death, whatever, and all. So he can see who has the most power that have the power to just be able to control Earth, whatever. Just this whole nonsense, whatever that they put together and all, because they're considered mortals, and it was just like. I love the way they wield the swords we're all having with the fight sequences was so good. Oh my God, it was just so good. I love that little car scene with the woman in the car. He's driving all erratic and she's freaking out and he don't care because he's like, if I can get hurt with him and all, but I'm gonna still live. But she ain't gonna live. It was so good. I know they had that in '86. The second one came out was in '91, and then I like the one that was called Highlander: The Final Dimension. That one starred of course Lambert and also Mario Van Peebles. I like them because Mario was very just creepy and just his overall look, he was just but I was here for it. But yes, and then of course you remember how they made the Highlander series, and even though I did enjoy the guy, I want to say is Adrian Paul who played the character in that one was really good, and I did watch the first couple seasons, but then I just always enjoyed Christopher Lambert when he played that. It's just something about it because I just when I look at Highlander, I always signified him as the actual lead. So that is exciting to me that Henry's considering this. Also, the actual director who will be attached to this is, I want to say, Chad Stahelski, of course, behind John Wick. So right there, I'm already excited at the prospect of what the action will be. Definitely wanting to know how that storyline is going to be told. It's going to be very interesting. Now, I will say for Henry Cavill, he likes to do his own stunt work and choreography, fight sequences. So I already know I don't have to worry about that. Plus, he knows how to wield a sword, hence with The Witcher. So that ain't a problem there too. So everything's kind of falling in line. I'm feeling it. I'm here for it. So I'm just looking forward to seeing also who will be attached as well, other actors coming into the fold, because he has to think if he's going to do Highlander, he has to remember this is a franchise. It's not just one movie. So I feel like if he's coming in talks to know that he's going to do a couple of these. Now, let me not even go there when I think about it because that's how I felt when he was attached to being Superman. I know I can get into my full rant. I will not, but I'm still in my feelings about us not getting a Man of Steel 2. I don't know what the powers that be were thinking, whatever. We should have been had that, but that's another long drawn out. I could do a one video on that alone. Also, I think he just wrapped up season 2 for The Witcher. And then I think he's doing what is it, Enola Holmes 2. So this is gonna be interesting, where he has time at. So I don't know if he's gonna start on this after he does Enola Holmes 2, because I don't think they've started on. I think they're getting ready to soon. So Millie Bobby Brown. So we'll have to see about that. I'm curious, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if he does sign on to this. I think he's not going to do one. He's going to end up doing more than one. If anything, I can see 2, possibly even 3. And then that's it because, yeah, he's going to have to do, and he's going to have to do them close together in years because, not to say anything like this, but let's just be real. Ain't nobody getting any younger. Let's just be real. These type of things I know takes a lot of discipline, and it's just the amount of stamina and all that. I mean, yeah, just my 2 cents on that part, whatever and all. But I'm excited. I'm excited this, whatever. I am a fan of Cavill's work. He's put out quite a bit of stuff that I do enjoy watching. So I'm happy for him at that. He did say, and I can just note what he said, he's like, very exciting news today. I've been a fan of Highlander since I was a lad. He says, from time the movies and all of their 80s, Queen Slather Glory to the TV show, with an actor who looked remarkably like one of my brothers, being not shy in with swords, he says, and having a director as talented as Chad at the helm, this is an opportunity like no other. Deep diving into franchise storytelling with all the tools at our disposal is going to make this an adventure, and I hope hopefully all of you all will never forget. And as you can see from my swipe, I didn't have the picture in front, is I've been lately dipping into some of the Scottish heritage and inadvertently getting my baseline research underway. So he's in it. He's in it to do the work. He's really there. He's excited, and I might just kind of look to see if they to see what Christopher Lambert said about it. Whatever. Now he'll, of course, probably with welcome arms, whichever. Because take the mantle over and all, but he will definitely always have a soft spot because there's nothing gonna stop me from watching those things. Like I said, Christopher Lambert in it, Sean Connery's in the first and second one, and like I said, Clancy Brown. Love me and had because that's what made me a fan of him moving forward with some of his work, and then of course, like I said, and People's being in the third and stuff like that, So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to knowing, production start and when exactly we can expect this to come out. So with that said, you guys, that is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment below on anything I talk about. I would love your thoughts on this. So, and with that said, I'll see you guys in the next movies. You guys take care.